Hey, this is the first time that I'm doing my recap while actually sitting on a seat, facing my computer instead of on my bed. But there's a lot to get into. 9 people, 11 days, and a twist like no other. This is GP4. Gamers Paradise 4. The recap is here. And before we get started, let me tell you what Gamers Paradise is. Gamers Paradise is a game that I do on Snapchat that pins people against each other in competitions. The one with the lowest score will get sent down to the passing, while the player with the highest score will be secretly told that they have the highest score and must send 2 other players down. Once there, the 3 players down in the passing have to fight for a last chance to sort of come back up or guarantee their spot back in the game, while the other 2 then plea, and then the player with the most votes gets evicted from the competition. Now, unless they are told, no one knows who the winners of each week are. Now we're gonna go through weeks. I'm gonna call each week like week 1, week 2. I'm gonna do this whole thing. I've done it in the past, but in reality, it didn't really take that long. This game was only 11 days. So let's just get into the cast members for this competition. Alright, I also forgot to mention, I think it goes without mentioning because I've said this so many times in other videos, that this game is inspired by Big Brother. If the format of that didn't give it away for those of you who watch the show, and then that's a little something for those of you who don't watch the show. This game is inspired by Big Brother, and also there's a memory wall that I always love to show off, so here it is. So, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. What is that? A twist? Yep, a twist is definitely in the works, and it appears literally on the first day. So, the first twist of the season is we recreate the twist from Big Brother 14, where coaches are involved, and I bring back 3 players to become coaches. And here are the 3 players who get to become coaches. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to the first week with eviction number 1. So the 9 competitors, they come in and they're just chilling out. They have no idea about the twist yet. And then after an hour of just relaxing, the twist hits them. And they are told that Kylie, Lindsay, and Tona, the 3 girls I showed before, are coming back, but not playing against them, but playing with them. As in, they are coaches. Lindsay, Tona, and Kylie all get to choose who their 3 players are that they're going to coach. And here are their teams in the order that they have decided. And another thing to add to the twist is if one of the players that the coaches chose wins the game, they are also entitled to a reward. So the challenge, their first challenge is Bounce Masters, and they have to try to get the highest score possible. It is announced that the lowest scoring team will have one of their members in the passing, while the winning team's coach can choose 1 player to send 2 others to the passing. The winning team is Tona's team, and the lowest scoring team is Lindsay's team. The lowest scoring player in that team is Michael. Now, Tona did not get to choose who to throw in there because only 1 person bought in a score, and that won it for the entire team. So already off the bat, she's sort of a threat. But it is Gemma who got to choose. Gemma then chose Michael and Courtney to send to the passing. Once Michael, Courtney, and Jace are in the passing, their passing challenge is Color Road. The passing winner, Michael. While the eviction is between Jace and Courtney, they give their pleas, and by a vote of 4-1, Jace was evicted. Now, sadly, we didn't get a vote from Adrian, who was supposed to vote, and the winner and the two nominees don't vote, so which means Gemma and Jace and Courtney do not vote. So Adrian, I should have penalized it, but nah, let it slide for this one time. But Jace is the first house guest evicted from the competition. So after the eviction, Courtney is just super thankful. Now everyone hops back in and plays a game called Thank You. Yeah, it's called Thank You. I made a really bad joke later on. Well, not later on, actually, in my brother's game, which was before this, with that name. So, yeah. But sadly, before the competition even ends, Gabby had to leave for personal reasons, so she is not sent to jury. Alright, I also do want to make it clear that people who do quit are also considered evicted, so that's why it's still called eviction. So now we move on, we pass the Thank You challenge, and it is announced that the coach twist is over. Lindsay, Tona, and Kylie are still entitled to their reward if the player that they chose wins. However, now it's a free-for-all. Now everyone realizes it's every player for themselves. At this point, the challenge is snakes versus colors. And Gemma, due to personal reasons, does step down from the game. However, the challenge does still continue. And at this point, I have decided against a jury, which means this would be the first GP that would not have a jury. Alright? Because at this point, Jace would be the only person in jury. And we decided to cancel jury this time. Probably no surprise about what I'm going to say next. The challenge continues, but Adrian as well had to quit. As you probably notice a pattern right now, people are just dropping. Might as well just make this game like who can last the longest in a group chat while I spam the hell out of you. But oh well, we're on to our final 5 at this point, so let's just keep going. Now here's the juicy part. So the challenge still continues, obviously, like I said. A double eviction, though, is announced, which means there are only 5 people left. 4 of them are going to the passing, and the player who scores the highest out of all 5 of them is safe and is in the final 3. So the person who receives that safety, Michelle. Michelle has received that safety. And the passing players are as follows: Wolfie, Chris, Courtney, and Michael. Alright, the passing challenge is stack jump, and sadly the 2 players evicted for scoring the lowest were Michael and Chris. Sorry guys, played well though. So let me tell you something funny. This is the first Gamers Paradise to have the semifinalists be all girls. As in, this is the second semifinals to have all players as a single gender. GP1, all the semifinalists were guys, being Gio, Dante, and Nick. And now, this season, all the semifinalists are girls, being Courtney, Wolfie, and Michelle. So now we go on to the next competition, and it's supposed to be played like Big Brother. There will be 3 challenges. The winner of the first challenge will get to go straight to part 3, while the other 2 who lose the first challenge must compete in part 2. Once there is a winner in part 2, the loser, the person who lost both part 1 and part 2, become the first nominee, and the winner of part 1 and 2 will then have to go on to the finale. We'll have to go on to the final part. So it's just like Big Brother, and the winner of the final part will then cast the final vote to evict. The challenge is Fire Up. However, after 24 hours, Courtney has decided to drop because she was busy and couldn't get in a score. And I guess it wasn't really I guess they didn't understand what the rest of it was. There was still more there, but I guess if she needed to do it, she needs to do it. Can't stop it. So now we're on to our finale. I guess you all get the big picture here. Get it? Because the winner is the one in the big picture. Yeah. Just laugh, please. Anyway, so it's now Michelle versus Wolfie, and they're given their final challenge. Their final challenge is indeed hop ball, which is very similar to helix jump. And in the end, after 24 hours, the first game to not have a jury. However, we did bring all the players who played this season back into one chat, brought Michelle and Wolfie, not Gemma, Wolfie, into the chat and announced the winner, and Wolfie took it overall. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and I'm actually holding the curtain back so my arms like this. But like, subscribe, share it around. More games are to come, and I'm taking a hiatus from my Snapchat games, but for the first time there is a game that's going to go on Facebook. Probably by the time that you guys will see this, it'll either end or almost be done. So, see you guys later.